just outside of Brooklyn, Michigan Detroit is the Brooklyn, Michigan. This is the beautiful 2-mile facility built back in the 60s, home of NASCAR, IndyCar, and ARCA, trucks, so much more. The trucks, they're debuted here tonight, virtual style. It is the Northwest Racing Association Series ready to go here tonight from Michigan International Speedway. 2 miles of excitement. This track always offers 2 and 3 and 4 wide racing at different times. Long green flag runs. Green flag pit stops will probably be a premium. And we're ready to go here on LSR TV, the home of sim racing. I'm Wesley Outland, ready for the nightcap on the West Coast after a great race on LSR TV from Texas for the X series that we saw here earlier. And I am joined with Greg Rentz. Greg, we had fun last Thursday night or Friday morning wee hours for me on the East Coast. We're going to have a fun time here with the trucks at Michigan tonight.
Absolutely, Wesley. It is going to be a wild race. We saw an outstanding Cup race here on Monday with the Northwest Racing Series Cup Division, and we are expecting more of the same here tonight. 100 laps the distance in the Motor City. It is going to be a classic showdown here at the 2-mile D-shaped oval, Michigan International Speedway.
Should be a fun time. Again, we are live not only also on our LSR TV YouTube channels, but also on our LSR TV Facebook coverage, Twitter at LSR TV, also on Instagram. Got you all of our social media coverage. And by the way, the official website is livesimracing.com. So again, we talked about Michigan, a very unique racetrack. I think we're going to see, again, a premium of green flag runs, green flag pit stops, pit cycles for each truck is probably going to be between 35 to 40 laps. And then they're going to have to come to pit road. And this will be very interesting to see what we see here as qualifying is just mere moments from beginning, Greg.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. We saw on Monday night the fuel gamble pay off for a first-time winner in the Northwest Racing Series. Bruce Lee Weaver stayed out on a pit stop around lap 30 on a caution when 4 cars stayed out. He was one of them. He fell back to 14th, stayed out as long as he possibly could, trying to catch a caution, caught the caution when he was about to pit, and made it work as he was able to catch the rest of the way and pick up the win. Will we see another first-time winner here tonight? Because Bruce Lee Weaver is not in the field tonight, so we will not see a weak sweep here like we have seen quite a few times this season.
So ready for the field to get underway here in just mere moments. It is nighttime action here for the LSR trucks, and this should be a fun time. We're glad you're along for the ride here on LSR TV. Again, the Northwest Racing Series, Northwestern Racing Series, the trucks getting summoned on the front of the pit row area, and they'll get ready to pull on out here to qualify. And I guess everybody is going to have the monkey on the back, the bullseye, if you will, proverbial virtual style tonight on Jeff Stabdown, the big winner last week, of course, with the trucks at Charlotte, carrying this momentum. A different racetrack, obviously, here at Michigan, Greg, but that 24 truck is strong. He's going to be the man that everybody will be bouncing for tonight.
And he was a little worried about his qualifying setup when he went out for his mock qualifying run. Wasn't sure what his race setup is going to do in qualifying with just a couple tweaks. And what did it do? It just went top of the board at a 39.422 in final practice. So the 24 winner last week in Charlotte and looking strong early, possibly a shot to go 2 in a row for his second win of the truck series and 4th of the year if he could pull that off with 2 wins on the Cup season to go with that win at Charlotte last week.
Should be a fun time for sure. Qualifying about to get underway again. Qualifying is 25 minutes on the clock, but pretty much what they'll do is they'll line them up and they'll qualify, take the best of their 2 laps, green, white checker, best lap posted will set their lineup for the feature, and then if they choose to, they're allowed to go back on the racetrack and shake the trucks down, have a couple of quick warm-up sessions, and be ready to go for 100 laps tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. We will see how they react to a very hot racing surface here, Wesley. Track temperature at time of qualifying, 118 degrees and climbing here at Michigan today. So when these drivers hit the track, it is going to be very, very slick out there. We got a southern wind going to 8 miles per hour before this qualifying session. So going to be very, very interesting to see how these guys react to a very hot track temperature.
And again, Greg Rentz along for the ride. Cody is in the house. Charles Wooten, actually. He is our director of operations, taking care of all of our broadcast coverage here tonight. A little wind blowing at 11 miles an hour. I think he deleted it a little too quicker, so I was trying to mention all that stuff. 10 miles per hour now. It's already dropped down 1 degree. 84 degrees, virtual style. Partly cloudy skies. Track temperature currently at 118 degrees, too. So in mere moments, they'll bring them out. They'll get ready to go with qualifying, and we should be ready for this event. And, you know, when I was talking to Jeff earlier during pre-race preparing for this race tonight on LSR TV, Greg, he was telling me that this is kind of a mockery, if you will, of the special warm-up races that they do for the Truck Series program for the drivers that finish at the end of the season of the top 20 points to advance to the NASCAR Esports Series, Coca-Cola's deal. And that's the big national deal for iRacing. And this will kind of be like a mock run of that here tonight at Michigan.
Yeah, it's a good preview for that big race, Wesley. And a lot of drivers know that this is a race situation that's going to be very similar to that. So you have to be expecting a few of those guys competing in that race will be watching tonight to see if they can get a grip on what is going to happen out there.
Still no trucks have made the attempt to pull out and go to qualifying. So we'll get these drivers ready to get their courage put up to get on that racetrack and make an attempt to go on the clock here. And the question is, who will be in Gatorade Victory Lane here at Michigan International Speedway when it is all said and done here in Michigan? Michigan, USA, a 2-mile track. This will be very, very interesting, and I'm so now hearing the roar of some trucks. Sounds like they're starting to hit the speedway, and we are getting ready for qualifying here as they've got just about 10 minutes remaining now. They better get on the whip quickly or they're going to run out of time here, Greg.
And we saw that happen on Monday, Wesley. We saw Devin West was coming to the strike for a possible row starting spot. He felt he may have had a shot at the pole, but time ran out when he was about 50 feet short of the line. Because of that, he had to settle for his first lap, which was 18th position. He worked his way up through the field very quickly and wound up leading a couple of laps, but we don't want to see it again as we do have trucks on the track now.
There we go. The truck are out there now. We'll see what times they put out there now on the clock. The number 13 entry, the Armor All colors, as he's getting things kicked off. Got about under 10 minutes remaining in qualifying.
That's Ryan Main in the number 13, a guy who has shown quite a bit of speed in the series so far, but still hasn't gotten that breakthrough win yet, Wesley. So we'll see how he can do tonight. He's looking for one big here in the Armor All Chevy tonight. Ryan Maines trying to finally snap that streak of bad luck.
We'll see how they turn here. The Armor All number 13 on the clock. Ryan Maines, first man to jump out, take time in that Armor All Chevrolet Silverado for the trucks here tonight at Michigan for the Northwest Racing Series. And he'll creep down in that Gander Outdoors truck body to the bottom of the apron. That's legal. Not like Talladega or Daytona. If you go below the yellow line, you get penalized. And Maines will set the bar in that truck number 13 as he'll turn a 39.58 second lap. 39.583 right now his time. Also, you have O'Hare, Sean O'Hare taking time second fast, 39.625 in truck number 41. Lowther's on the speedway in truck number 63 as well. And his turn time is 39.642. Annenbacher out there as well in the 63 machine, or Lowther. And then you have Annenbacher in the 89, So those are right now currently the 4 trucks that have took time so far.
Most trucks just completing their second lap, and looks like Maines is going to hold steady on top of the charts for now with that 39.583. As I say it, a guy who was very quick in practice, Steve Jennings, just laid down a lap of a pretty quick time, 39.545 for Steve Jennings. He goes to the top. He was second in practice.
And I love that silver. I love that silver on that truck. What a sharp looking truck there. And there's a LSR TV truck, number 5 out there of West. There's Devin West, father, son. That's son, Devin West. Father's Dan West Jr. in the 55. And what a tough break he had at Charlotte last week, coming to the checkered flag or the white flag lap and lost control, went to the bottom of the apron, spinning out on the entrance of pit road, and gave up a dismal top 5 finish at Charlotte last Thursday night.
Yeah, he's looking for a bounce back tonight, Wesley. He wants another shot here in the Truck Series, sitting 4th right now at a 39.613. His son Devin a spot above him in 3rd, 39.605. New number for Devin West. 2 drivers who are in the series have new numbers here tonight. Devin West being one of them, the other being the 63 of Dan Lowther, as 2 drivers running new numbers tonight. So it'll be a little bit interesting for the first couple of laps to kind of get used to those 2 new numbers, but fortunately those are the numbers that they race in their actual cars, so they are back to what they are used to as a couple more drivers begin to trickle in their qualifying times. James Vining, Adam Chisholm, Cameron Doyle making his first start in a long time in the trucks is here tonight, as well William Fletcher and Carl Burke. Those are the drivers who have taken time thus far. They're all chasing Steve Jennings right now, the 39.545, still the time to beat.
And other trucks going across the line here. Harris finishing up, Frank Harris in the 11. There's the 53 truck. Also taking time of Carl Burke. There's the number 58 machine of Stephen Paulison coming across the line of the Jim Beam colors. On the clock, his Toyota 100 trooping down to the front straightaway, and he doesn't go below the apron all the way per se, just goes down below the inside lane as the field is still trying to run down Jennings, Ross, Maines, West, father, son there, or son, father, flip-flop it there for the top 5. O'Hare, Lowther, King, Fletcher, Ottenbacher, and Walters, the top 10. Ottenbacher, your top 10 right now, as we now look again at the 58 on the clock. We'll see where he ends up. The driver, again in the Jim Beam colors, Paulison's entry, number 58, Stephen Paulison. And climbing the board, look at Bill Ross. He came out of nowhere, and now he will go to the number 2 spot on the racetrack in truck number 17. 39.565 seconds, and some smoke bellowing from the back end of his truck as he goes in P2.
He was taped up, Wesley. That's what that smoke means. He was running it as hard as he could, and he was fastest in final practice, was that 17 of Bill Ross Jr., so he follows that up with a second here. So a lot of speed in that 17 truck here tonight. Looks like Bill Ross put his time in here tonight, at least on his qualifying set. We'll see how it handles in the race, but it looks like Bill Ross Jr. put some time in on the sim this week.
And there's the Chevrolet Silverado Waltz Beard Co. LSR TV entry of the number 24 of Jeff Stabnow. Jeff Stabnow, one of the all-time winners of iRacing competition, and got the win in Charlotte last Thursday night with the Northwest Racing Series Trucks program. Got to try to double down here in Michigan.
And he was actually fastest in practice. I apologize, I forgot he managed to knock Bill Ross Jr. off the top near the end of practice on a mock qualifying run. We'll see if Stabnow can follow it up. Yes, he can. Top of the board, 39.521 for Jeff Stabnow. That is the quickest time thus far. So Jeff Stabnow putting it on top right now, and he did not like the way the qualifying setup felt. He was still trying to adjust some stuff on it before this qualifying run, Wesley. I think he's got something figured out in that 24 truck.
We call that quick time for the driver of Stabnow in the number 24 entry. The number 46 out there on the racetrack as well, Sean Breitzman. Sean Breitzman had a run to go in Charlotte last week and got tangled up in a wreck in the late rally in the number 46 entry. And he will be a driver to watch on the clock. Is Stabnow, Jennings, Ross, Maines, West, your top 5. That's Sun West. Father West is 6th. O'Hare, Lowther, Johnson, Paulinson. Right now, your top 10 in qualifying with just 3 minutes remaining in this session, as we still see Sean Brightsman trying to put down a decent lap as he'll come out of turn 4 way below the apron, almost to the grass, as he crosses the start-finish line, and he will score unofficially now in 9th.
39.671 the time for Brightsman. And Wesley, Brightsman is not exactly known for qualifying, but he is known to gradually pick his way through the field, work his way up, and find himself in position on strategies. Sean Brightsman is not afraid to take a gamble, so it'll be interesting to see how this race unfolds. But a 9th qualifying spot, not bad for Sean Brightsman right now, but that's about average for what the 46 car has in qualifying. We will see what happens in the race, though, because we know Brightsman is not afraid to gamble.
Stab now, Jennings, Ross, Maines, West, the top 5 there as they get ready to come across the stripe. Less than 2 minutes remaining in their qualifying run.
Just a few more trucks that have not taken time. Gary Nichols has been battling issues all day in the number 8. Gary Nichols' stage, he's actually just now beginning to roll out connection issues all afternoon here at Michigan. This will be the first laps that the 8 truck has turned in this session, not counting final practice because he did not make it out. So Gary Nichols, this is his first laps of the day, and it's a qualifying lap. He will be coming out now. Tom Green, Dan Stussy, Ray Fournier, and Scott Hutchinson, the other trucks that have yet to come out. And from the looks of it, looks like they are all still sitting on pit road. So Gary Nichols, the only truck on the track right now, coming up to speed.
The sounds of those trucks as they get ready to wrap them up in qualifying. There's that number 8 machine. That's Gary Nichols. He'll drop down to the apron, get ready to hit that escape button and call his qualifying in the books. And we got less than 48 seconds left. There's the number 2 truck. It looks like he's done with time. That's James Thurston. And it looks like officially everybody will wrap up their qualifying run. It looks like 27 trucks in total. 28 possibly, and some of them did not take time, including Scott Hutchinson in 91, Dan Stussy in 78, Tom Green in 77, and Ray Fortier in the 26. So it looks like Gary Nichols also backed out of his qualifying run in the number 8 truck you just saw a moment ago. So 10 seconds remain, and then the field will be set officially. Greg Rentz for qualifying complete, and we go 200 miles, 100 laps here tonight for the Northwest Racing Series on iRacing on LSR TV from Michigan.
Going to be an interesting one, Wesley, as the field has put in their time, so we are getting set. Wesley, let's take him through the starting lineup here as the field rolls their way out onto the grid as we get set for 100 laps.
And let's give you your starting lineup again. 200 miles, 100 laps. They'll go 2 rows apiece. Jeff Stabnow, quick qualifier, 39.436 seconds on the pole in the 28 from the north, 24 from the northwest. Steve Jennings will start on the outside of him. The 17 of Bill Ross Jr. third. Ryan Maines in the 13. He'll start 4th.
Coming home in the position number 5 is truck number 5, Devin West, the new number, and it's back in his own number that he races here in the Washington Modifieds. He looks to transfer the luck over from his real track to here. His father Dan will start next to him in the 55 with Stephen O'Hare in the number 41, the Texas winner, and rookie Dan Lowther, who has had a lot of speed all day. He rolls off in the 8th position with Sean Brightsman and Brett Johnson rounding out your top 10.
There you go. Row number 6 is going to be Stephen Paulinson in 58, and starting 12th, the 83. That's Chris White. Moving on now to row number 7, starting 13th and 14th on the grid. Once we get our scoring ticker lineup set, there we go. 44, Tyler King. He'll start 13th. William Fletcher in the 14th position in truck number 28. Then you got John Ottenbacher in the 89, 15th and 16th, the 2 of James Thurston.
Starting off in 17th will be Corey Walters in the Hooters number 9 with the 333 James Vining to his outside. Row number 10 rounding out the top 20. Another new number in the field tonight, Taco Bell Roy Grande is moving to number 18 with Adam Chisholm making just his 3rd career start in the series. And another new number, number 25, Frank Harris and Carl Burke, 21st and 22nd. Final car to take time was the number 170 of Cameron Doyle Wesley, who got the provisionals.
Ray Forner there in the number 26 entry will start 24th, and around out the field of 27, Scott Hutchinson in 91, the 8 of Gary Nichols, final row, Tom Green 77, and Dan Stussy in the 78. The lights are off for the pace car here for the Northwest Truck Series. It's part of the Northwest Racing Series program, West Coast style. And the field is set to go for 100 laps around this 2-mile Michigan International Speedway. 100 laps. This track 2 miles in length. It'll be very interesting to see what type of a race we have. They'll be going 3 wide, 4 wide, I bet. We'll see probably long green flag cycles. Remember, those trucks can run between 35 to 40 laps. Particularly the number was 38 before they have to come to pit road. And I'm sure green flag pit stops will be at a premium. Stabnow, Jennings, all on the front row. The pace car drops onto pit road. Barney, the virtual iRacing flagman, ready to go in the Geico restart zone. They come to speed. Green flag in the air. We are underway. We feel the thunder as they roar to turn 1 here at Michigan.
Good start for Jeff Stabnow in the 24. Bill Ross Jr. able to get that inside lane working strong as he was able to get around Jennings and bring Devin West with him. The inside line is moving here at the start of this one. Top 3 from the inside lane. Contact already. Ryan Maines in the wall. The field fans out to try to get away. It looks like everybody might get it, but Ryan Maines in the wall. Early, we got problems.
Trouble. Bottom of the racetrack. Everybody will still keep going, but they are going to throw the caution. And there's the problem. The number 58 machine. I think that's Paulison's entry.
Yeah,
Stephen Paulison with a problem.
I think Sean Brightsman.
Let's take a look at the relay. Wow, Brightsman went across the track, hit Paulisman, and sent him to the infield apron, bouncing up. Well, I don't think he hit the wall. I think if anything, he might have flat spotted tires, if anything, Greg.
It'll be interesting to see. His truck looks okay. I'm watching him come through the trioval now and cross the finish line. Truck doesn't look too bad, so 58 might be in good shape, but I'd be worried about that 46 of Brightsman if I was on that LSR TV pit crew right now, because he darted across the track, and watching him right now, he doesn't look too happy with his truck right now as he is kind of coasting on the apron. I'd be a little bit nervous about the 46 if I was on that team.
They'll be under the yellow flag here again. And this will be caution flag number 1, which was very surprising. I did not think that we would have a yellow flag so fast. Well, indeed we have.
We had that happen to us on Monday also in the Cup Series with these guys. Same exact spot off of turn number 2. We had problems develop early, and it was a first lap caution. So off to a similar start as it looks like a few trucks coming in to pit here for some damage. Sean Brightsman is one of them as well. Ryan Maines, you talked about him. He was looking to snap the bad luck streak after a good qualifying run. That's not the way he wanted to start it. Also, looks like Frank Harris in the 11 is on pit road for some damage repair as well.
I want to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast happen on LSR TV. Thank you to Mission 22, Line Creek Brewing Company, Hilton Designs, also RaceOnTexas.com, Sawblade.com, Clan Wars Servers, Lone Star 600 on Race on Texas coming up in November, and in addition to that, a new sponsor, ETE Remanufacturing. We'll take a quick break. I'll take an acknowledgement of that new sponsor, and we'll come back with more coverage from Michigan. Caution out in the early going. This is LSR TV, the home of sim racing.
ETE Reman is the world's best remanufacturer of transmissions for import and domestic cars and trucks. Based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, our customers are repair shops, auto parts stores, dealerships, and distributors. And with 6 nationwide warehouses, we're where and when you need us. So when you're looking for a transmission that is like new, only better, instill confidence and install ETE Reman.
Back here in Michigan in the early going, 4 of 100 laps and under caution after a multi-truck incident with Brightsman and Paulison. And I want to say thank you to, again, not only LSR TV, but Waltz Beer Co. Waltz Beer Co., the proud sponsor of the Northwest Racing Series truck division here tonight. And again, Michigan, very different turn of events than I thought this race would start off with, Greg. Wow.
Yeah, it's been an interesting start with the incident on lap 1 with Paulison and Brightsman. It started with Ryan Maines catching the wall right out of the gate off of turn number 2, and they have to come in and fix some damage on the 13. So a few trucks already using the fast repair. Maines, Harris, or 2 of them. I'm not sure if Sean Brightsman used the fast repair or not, because I wasn't sure the exact amount of damage, but you know Brightsman will save the fast repair if he can. So definitely going to be interesting to watch these guys try to work their way through the field, because those are 2 very fast cars or trucks. Ryan Maines qualified inside the top 5, and he is back in the 21st position now. So the 13's got his work cut out for him.
Stab now. Ross, row 1. West, Jennings, row 2. O'Hare, West, row 3. Lowther, Johnson, row 4. King and White make up the top 10. They'll be door to door, side by side for speed when they come back to the line. The lights are off on the iRacing Ford Mustang pace car, and they will get ready to drop that back down onto pit road, and we'll get this race back underway here in Michigan for 100 laps, 200 miles for the trucks, and a special preliminary exhibition to set the stage for, what's the name of that race program they got it that they're running in? I was trying to think of the name for it.
I believe it's the Road to Pro.
That's it, the Road to Pro. And this is a mock exhibition run of that, because coming up on Tuesday night, the Road to Pro will be at Michigan. It will be a truck race. And again, the top 20 at the end of the point season will advance to the eNASCAR Coca-Cola National Racing Series. To the box, coming out of 4. In the Geico restart zone, virtual style at Michigan, bring back in the air. Stab now pulls away just like on the original start from Ross, West, Jennings. They're 2 by 2 going into the corner for at least 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th, single file as they go into 1.
Kind of settling down after that initial start there. The outside lane worked a little bit better there with Bill Ross Jr. Remember the initial start, the outside lane did not go at all, as the top 3 were able to get from the inside lane up there. And it's a side-by-side battle for second early between Devin West and Bill Ross Jr. Bill Ross Jr. up at the top of the charts. He put a lot of practice in on that 17 truck apparently this week, because he has got some speed. He's sitting in 3rd right now, but here comes another guy who was apparently spent quite a bit of time at Michigan. Steve Jennings had a very strong qualifying run, and he's up in the top 5, peaking for 3rd now, trying to get back up.
Want to watch these guys as they come off the corner. And here comes Stab now. There you see the interval. The man in 2nd place is West. He's in that number 5 Burgundy car. The Burgundy truck. Good battle there going on with 3 and 4 trucks behind him. Diving into turn number 3 to the inside.
You can't
look at that little wiggle there.
You can't count out that 41 truck who's riding in 6th right now behind the side-by-side battle. Stephen O'Hare in the 41. He has very quietly been putting up very consistent results in both the Cup Series and the Truck Series this season, including a win in the Truck Series back at Texas, in which he was able to capitalize on situations that developed with some other trucks, and he was able to pull it off with the win in Texas. And he has since been very consistent in that 41 truck, having a very solid run here right now in the 41, sitting in the 6th position, trying to track down outside pole sitter Steve Jennings in the 111 to break into the top 5. Don't look now. The 55, Dan West Jr., he has just cracked the podium in the 3rd place as he gets around Bill Ross Jr. He looks to bring Steve Jennings with him as they go across the finish line. 9 laps on the board now.
Working 9. Still a long way to go here. Close to 90 laps remaining in this still. For the trucks, Stab now, West, that is the son, father, Dan West Jr. behind him. Steve Jennings, Stephen O'Hare has now moved into the top 5, getting around Bill Ross Jr. And that battle goes on with O'Hare and Ross as that goes into turn number 3.
O'Hare gets past Ross and now gets to the inside of Jennings with Brett Johnson there peaking truck number 7 in spot number 7, trying to get up there. And how about the 83 Chris White making his first truck start of the season, and he has crept up into the top 10 in the number 83. He is off a very successful run in the Cup Series for a couple of weeks, a second at Kentucky or Kansas last week in the Cup Series, followed up with a very impressive performance at Michigan as well. The 83 of Chris White coming in a little bit hot here in the trucks, and he's sitting in the 8th position. After starting 12th, he's +4 already.
For these drivers, Greg, that take advantage of this exhibition, if you will, for the Northwest Racing Truck Series tonight for the Road to Pro truck event here at Michigan on Tuesday for the National iRacing circuit, could it be suffice to say that they could be above the 8 ball of everyone else if they do not take advantage of running this race tonight?
Absolutely. You would have a full race under your belt if you intend to run the Road to Pro series on Tuesday night. You would have an entire race under your belt, a dry run, if you will. So very good possibility to really get a jump on those guys, because not only would you have 100 laps of experience, you also are putting yourself in position here in the Northwest Series for a points run. So very good idea to run this race if you were planning on running the Northwest Pro race.
And by the way, in addition to that, this is also a national points event for iRacing with the Northwestern iRacing, Racing Truck Series deal presented by Waltz Beard Co. So this is a points event for this series. So Stab Now, the man that has led the way, go figure. Same song and dance story like we talked about at Charlotte. And he's got a different paint design this week, too. Don't have that T-Rex Jeff Gordon colors like we saw at the 97 run into the Winston, and the way he dominated the truck race at Charlotte last weekend here on LSR TV last Thursday night.
Yeah, he's sporting a new look, a little bit more LSR TV branding on that truck. He was quick to point out to us before the race when we were talking with him. But Walls Beer Co. still on the hood of the 24 as well, the series sponsor. And Stabnow's running without his usual teammate for the last couple of weeks. Mark Walls has not been competing the last couple of weeks, but Stabnow doing a very good job keeping that team up in the forerunning here, because he won at Charlotte last week, leading every lap thus far at Michigan. But he might be feeling some pressure coming here pretty quick, because the father and son duo, Devin and Dan West, are coming up in his mirror. Devin is beginning to creep up. Devin the son sitting in second.
Shades of what we saw in virtual Carolina and Charlotte last Thursday night. Father and son of the West family closing in on the leader of Stabnow as they get ready to come off of turn 2 to the back straightaway. Also, something we haven't thought about yet, gentlemen, pit stops. Nobody has come to pit road. We were talking about a transition between 35 to 40 laps, primarily lap 38. We'll see trucks come to pit road. We had one caution, no takers on the pit road, except for Nichols, who's 2 laps down. And again, for that matter, Greg Rentz, we're seeing a totally different race than when it started. We had that little hiccup at the start when the caution fell on lap 1. Since then, off the incident on the backstretch, they've been single file and watching this battle here, and it's all Stabnow.
Chains of Monday, Wesley, because in that race on Monday, we saw a little bit of trouble in the early going, but once they got things settled down and made a nice green flag run, things really settled down, and we wound up having like a 60 or 70 lap green flag run in that race through the meat and potatoes of the race, as I like to call it, the middle stages, before it got a little hairy near the end with a couple of late race cautions. But Stabnow doing a good job right now. He's led all 15 laps that have been completed thus far, working lap 16 in turn number 1. But after the initial shady start, once again, we are really seeing these guys settle down, click some laps away, and things are really going pretty solid right now, dare I say.
Are you the one the other night that made a comment in a broadcast about cheesecake, dropping cheesecake?
Yes, that was me.
I would love to know how you had that dialogue come about.
Well, I was calling a race, and there is a driver in that series who was sponsored by Cheesecake, and he was coming his way through the field, and we made the joke on the webcast that the cheesecake was cooking tonight. Well, about 10-15 laps later, he got caught up in a wreck, So my co-announcer said, "Oh, he dropped the cheesecake," and I just reacted because cheesecake is my favorite dessert. I said, "No,
I
you
love
can't drop the cheesecake."
Yes. Can't drop the cheesecake. That's fighting words.
Exactly.
Virtual or reality. Seriously. Gotta have those strawberries on there too, for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Stab now, the man leading the way. Look at this battle going on. 17, Ross under attack by Jennings in that 111. That's a beautiful looking truck. That's silver. Number 111 diving to the inside, making a move on Ross. And there is also the 63 of Lowther trying to clear him as they go to the stripe, trying to go for that 2-for-1 special, if you will, as they dive into turn number 1 with Jennings still the man leading the way. A truck length back is going to be Ross in 17. Then you've also got that 63 of Lowther. Count out the 83 of Chris White. You were mentioning earlier one of the Coca-Cola NASCAR, NASCAR racers. And he's trying to make a move here as they go into the turn. Watching this battle for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th here at Michigan off 4.
Steve Jennings leading this battle right now, and he is having a very, very great run in that 111 truck. Steve Jennings doing very good here in the early stages at Michigan. Started 2nd, currently running 4th. Very solid run for the 111.
Just got to make an observation here. I never realized that there were so many satellite dishes at a cup race in the pit area, like on virtual iRacing. I've been in the cup, in the truck Xfinity garage many times, and they've definitely got an idea of it, but I didn't know there was like satellite dishes on every pit stall, every war wagon, every pit box. As you see here on the graphics out of turn 4, maybe our cameraman Cody will show it again from pit road with all of these Dempsey satellites. Count them all. Look at that. Yeah, boy, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of satellite dish TV going on in the pit area, virtual style for sure. As here they come again off the corner. The pace car waiting patiently to hit the racetrack again. Hey, Cody, AKA Charles Wooten, used some awesome camera angles during the X Racing broadcast earlier tonight at Texas. Maybe he could put his devious brain to work as me and Greg Rentz will rest our voices as we hit lap 20. 80 to go. Feel the thunder virtual style for Michigan. Hope you enjoy that. Feel the thunder on LSR TV. Change for the lead. Rollout was going on. First lead change of the race. Greg Rentz, son Devin West got around Stabnow, and Stabnow now lurking and trying to strike an opportunity to get back around him. He's in the middle of that West sandwich as they come to the front straightaway, back off of turn number 2.
West family brought the cheesecake tonight, Wesley, as here comes Stabnow, though, back to the inside of Devin West. So Jeff Stabnow trying to get a run back, and now we're starting to see a little bit of draft here, Wesley. Not something we were used to seeing in the trucks a whole lot, as opposed to the cup cars, where this race on Monday was all about the draft. Haven't seen a whole lot of it with the open setup here that goes on in the truck series, but seeing it right now, we're going to be 3 wide for the lead. Stabnow, the meat in the West sandwich, as they cross the strike, give it to Stabnow at the line by just 7/1000ths of a second over Devin West, but West seems to have the momentum on the outside. As they roll into turn number 1, Dan West Jr. falls back behind to let them settle it out as they begin their run down the backstretch. So close off of turn 2.
Here we go again. Here we go, round and round. Sounds like the theme lyrics off of a Van Halen song, and that's happening here in Michigan virtual style with West, Sun West leading the way. Stabnow again in that number 2 spot. And that Waltz Beard Co. LSR TV Chevrolet Silverado. And then you have Dylan, then you have Dan West Jr., the father, in the 3rd position. Stephen Jennings is sitting in 4th. Bill Ross Jr. 5th as you're still running on board. That's the rear end of the leader's truck with Sun West holding off Daddy West and Stabnow as they go to the back straightaway. Working lap 25, 1/4 of the race complete, 75 to go here at Michigan.
Well, what a run by Dan West Jr. into turn number 3. He's not only going to get Stabnow. Oh, he was getting a run at Devin, but he got loose there in turn number 3 and 4, right about the apex, and that's going to allow Stabnow to cross him back over as they come side by side to the line. Ooh, it was close. Just 4 1/1000ths of a second. Stabnow had it at the line, but Dan West Jr. showing he's got the speed in that 55 truck as Devin tries to pull away. Remember, all 3 of these trucks with wins this season. Devin, a winner at Homestead. Dan, a couple of wins on the season to go along with Stabnow's win at Charlotte last week. 3 of the top trucks in the series so far. Running it out right now with Steve Jennings in the 4, the 111 in 4th. He has broken away from the rest of the field and is trying to reel these guys in. But Wesley, we're getting close to the end of the fuel run here. Like you mentioned, looking like we're about 11 laps away from your window that you were talking about.
Yeah, this is the Northwestern iRacing Truck Series here tonight, presented by Waltz Beard Co. at Michigan. And we have completed the first 50 miles of this race. We're in the still 3/4 of the race remains. If you do the math, it's 50 miles equals 25 laps. This race is 100 laps, so it's 200 miles the distance on the 2.0 mile Michigan International Speedway. As we watch now the 5 truck of Son Devin West bring the field at bay with Daddy West behind him. Stabnow trying to run him down, peeking, looking to the inside, back to the stripe, almost banging fenders. They'll go side by side, fighting for that position again, looking at possibly that virtual draft air. It might be causing his truck to get loose for Stabnow as he gets alongside the driver of Dan West Jr.'s number 55.
So possibly the long run not to Jeff Stabnow's liking. We knew it was good on the short run as he was fastest in practice and qualified on the pole, but maybe the long run not quite what Stabnow was looking for here, as the West family seems to have the long run figured out for their trucks. And remember, these two usually come with 2 very close but some slight differences on the setup. 2 very close setups that they usually work one and one will work the other. So 2 very similar looking 5 and 55 trucks right now. If I could get my English down, that'd be awesome. But Devin West leading the way right now. His father Dan running a very similar setup, and it looks like they have the long run figured out.
Back straightaway, and I told you that this would be a type of sequence of racing right here where we're getting ready to hit lap number 30, and I was told between lap 35 to 40, preferably lap 38, you will see the sequence of pit stops. Here is the manufacturer's rundown, and from 1st to 11th, it's all Chevrolets. Then you've got a Toyota, Brightsman in 12th, Burke in a Chevrolet 13th. And then you have Grande in a Toyota, King in a Chevrolet, Toyota for Walters at 16th. And pretty much it is a Chevrolet bow tie affair right now. Nobody took advantage of the Ford F-150s. They're all in Chevrolet Silverados and the Toyota Tundras. As we come back to the line, working lap 30, this time by at Michigan.
So lap 30 in the books, working lap 31, Devin and Dan West trying to pull away from Stabnow, but Stabnow doing a good job hanging on with that draft that we talked about a moment ago, doing a good job hanging with them despite the long run probably not being up to specs on what the 24 truck wanted. Steve Jennings has pulled away from the rest of that battle that was going on. He is now 3 seconds ahead of 5th place Dan Lowther, who is leading a freight train behind him, and they are fanning out all over the backstretch. It is exciting back here from about 6th on back. Bill Ross Jr., John Ottenbacher, Brett Johnson, William Fletcher, Ryan Maines back up into 11th after his incident, bringing Sean Bryson with him. Lots of action going on back here around the 10th position right now.
Back across the line. As here comes Devin West, still leading the way. Dan West Jr. in second, Stab down. Now back to second, get around Dan to the back stretch. And we're working 6 laps to that window. They could probably start pitting between 35 to 40, preferably lap 38. That's what the veteran driver of iRacing and winner at Charlotte last week, Jeff Stabnow, told me, as he is looking to the inside of the Waltz Beard Co. Chevrolet looking for the lead, and they are going to give it to Devin West at the stripe. But here comes Stabnow with a run on the West brothers, father-son, as they go to turn 1. Stabnow to the bottom.
Boy, what a run there by Devin on the outside. As you see right there, what the outside lane shows at Michigan. And this is something that is so great about Michigan International Speedway. The multi-grooves that you have here, so many different options to carry through. 4 or even 5 wide is not exactly uncommon at this racetrack. So it is so much fun to watch these guys race it out and have all these different options to choose from at this track. Coming to complete lap 33 right now. Devin is pulled back away from Jeff Stabnow, and they are still door-to-door for second. Stabnow and West, another photo finish between them. So we'll see how it goes here as they both get a good run on Devin in turn number 1 and 2 that time. And Dan has a good run off of turn number 2 to the inside. Looks like Dan West Jr. might be thinking about taking the lead for the first time.
Back straightaway for the lead. To the inside, Father Dan going to the point. Same trucks, different colors, same designs, same sponsors. Creeping, crawling, looking up the outside lane. Devin West looking on son, dad, Dan. And Dan West Jr. will make the 3rd different leader of this race. Stabnow will fall back to 3rd. Jennings, where's he at in the number 111 truck? He is now having a sequence of green flag pit stops underway. Truck 89, Ottenbacher on pit road, and here comes a host of others, Greg Rance.
Right about where we talked about. This is when the window was beginning to open up, so drivers coming in to try to set things up here for a run. All the top 3 stay out an additional lap, as does the rest of the top 5. Dan Lowther coming down in the 63. Oh, James Thurston has to check up, and it looks like Lowther has some damage on the 63, so something may have happened to the 63 of Lowther as he's coming down with Thurston. So green flag pit stop still going right now.
63. Lowther coming to his pit stall, and a sequence of pit stops underway. Here's the number 2 in the attention of his crew. That's Thurston. Here comes the leaders, led by Dan West Jr., Devin West as well. And here comes Stabnow. All of them onto pit road. We knew it was going to be between lap number 35 to 40. Primarily lap 37, 38, and this is 1 lap shy of that. And here they come to pit road. It looks like a slip in the pits for West.
That's not good for Devin West, one of the top contenders in this race so far, and he
overshot his pit box. He's literally had to back up 2 or 3 times to now go to the pits. That's a tough break, man. Wow, that's going to hurt him.
Devastating for Devin West. Dan West Jr. also having some problems on pit road in the 55, so both of them having issues. And Devin actually is going to get off pit road before his father when it's all said and done. So big problems for the driver who came in as the race leader. Dan West Jr. still on pit road.
Gotta execute those pit stops. You gotta make them work. As Devin West is back on track, the 55. Dan West Jr. has still not came back on the racetrack yet.
Just now leaving his pit box. He may have got a penalty, Wesley.
Have to find out from our iRacing directors and score what happened here. If he got suffered a penalty, I know our buddy Corey Wooten, our broadcast director, is on it. LSR TV, the home of sim racing. And this is the Northwestern iRacing Truck Series, presented by Waltz Beard Co. Greg Rance, Wesley Outland. Yeah, I mentioned the other guy, the production guy. I mentioned him already. Corey Wooten, he's doing a great job. And we are here at Michigan. We're about 11 laps, if you will, to the halfway cross flags from Barney on the virtual iRacing flag stand. We have had just one caution stop this race. And now the story is on the 55 of Dan West Jr., who was leading coming off the coming onto pit road, and he got in some trouble. Got basically a penalty on the 55. We're finding out more information on it. No carpet square, no chocolate milk. He'll go to timeout. Had to sit down a lap, and now he's back on the racetrack.
That's going to be a huge dagger to Dan West Jr. because now he's got his work cut out for him. Ryan Main stayed out to lead a lap in the number 13 after having to use his fast repair from the lap 1 incident. He is back down and away. Stephen Paulson has led the last lap, and he is going to hang a left here off of turn number 4, bringing a Jim Beam Toyota down onto pit road. So we should be getting pretty close to the end of green flag pit stops here, Wesley, as just a couple trucks still out on the track that have not pitted. The leader right now is the number 91 of Scott Hutchinson. I believe once this is all said and done, the lead will shuffle back to Jeff Stabnow. As of the top 3 when green flag pit stops began, Stabnow was the only one that did not have issues on pit road.
10 laps, under 10 laps now to halfway. One caution on the start of this race. And it's been clean and green. And you know, Greg, I called it. I said it was going to be like this. Where we're going to see a cycle of a lot of green flag runs. And we see Stabnow after it cycles with Hutchinson as the leader. A moment ago, he comes to the pits, the 91, Scott Hutchinson. And now as he crosses the line officially, Jeff Stabnow back to the lead. How about that eNASCAR ace of Chris White to the number 2 spot now? He advanced 10 positions in that last sequence of pit stops. Jennings, the 3rd in the 111, he lost a position. Audenbacher up 11 in 89. He's came out of nowhere in the 89. He's 3rd or 4th. Then you have James Thurston in the 2 truck. And that will round out your top 5. Sean Breitzman is in up 3 positions. Now he's moved up to 6th or 5th. Not even halfway yet. Still a long way to go, Greg.
Breitzman in the 6th position. He stayed out to lead a lap as the final truck has pulled in. Jeff Stabnow has inherited the lead. 4.2 seconds ahead of Chris White in the number 83, who is off sequence with the rest of the field right now on pit stops. So it'll be interesting to see if Chris White might be able to catch a caution before he has to come in and pit, as the 83, remember, is off sequence, as he pitted quite a bit earlier than the rest of the field. So we'll see how it goes, but he's beginning to feel the heat in his mirror as one of the fastest trucks in town right now, Steve Jennings in the 111, having a breakout performance right now in the 111, is in 3rd, and he is breathing down Chris White's neck.
Man, what a beautiful looking truck. What a beautiful truck, virtual. That number 111, I don't know if we can zoom in a little bit closer to that design, but that is such a sharp looking machine there. That Chevrolet Silverado, number 111, waving Old Glory proudly and acknowledging our armed forces, the armed infidel, as we get ready to bring them off the corner here.
Jennings will move into 2nd as he crosses the strike there. He is in the 2nd position, but he is 5 5.8 seconds back of Jeff Stabnow. But the good news for Jennings is Jeff Stabnow is beginning to catch traffic, and the first truck up is Gary Nichols, who has been having connection issues all day.
We saw some net code. We saw some net code on that number 8 truck of Nichols, and you'll see him get out of the way.
Good move by Nichols, as the connection is not there on the 8 truck today. Remember, he missed practice and did not make it out in time for qualifying for a lap because of those connection issues. We thought he may have had it figured out, but it looks like they've come back to haunt him once again, as he is now 3 laps down. The only truck on the track that is not on the lead lap at the time being Cameron Doyle, the number 170, has been in the pits since lap number 21. Problems for the 170s, so Cameron Doyle 24 laps down right now, still on pit road, not officially out of the race, but Cameron Doyle seems that he is calling it a day, and he's just waiting it out and watching the rest of the race.
Got that battle of Northwest, West Coast, Dirty South, all going on there as they go into the corner. The number 7 Coca-Cola truck, Chevrolet Silverado. That is Brett Johnson, Devin West trying to get around him. And again, as we iterated on, this is a mock run of the exhibition for Tuesday night's official Road to Pro, where it is a truck racing program where the top 20 at season's end have the opportunity to compete in the 2021 NASCAR Coca-Cola Racing Series. And we're watching some of these drivers try to take advantage of this, as Stabnow, the man that leads the way. But here's this battle between West and Johnson. Another great battle between Team LSR TV, Brightsman, and the 46, the 89 out there as well. And that is Ottenbacher for 3rd and 4th as they come to turn number 2 to the back straightaway.
You're seeing right now what the difference in tires is, because remember, Chris White is off sequence in that number 83 truck. So you're seeing right now just how much the tire wear is differing on that 83 truck as opposed to the rest of the field. But Wesley, Sean Brightsman in the 46, ring the dinner bell, because here he comes, caught up in that initial start, or the wreck on the initial start. He is working his way back up to 3rd after using that fast repair on lap number 2. And he is in 3rd, 8.3 seconds back of Jeff Stabnow, but closing the gap on Steve Jennings for 2nd. And if they can catch a caution, don't look now, but Sean Brightsman's going to be right there.
And meanwhile, as we showed, Brightsman in 3rd, pick up Stabnow again with almost a 7-second lead, 9 seconds on the team there at Brightsman. Here comes Stabnow. The Waltz Build Co. LSR TV number 24 Chevrolet will cross the line. Virtual iRacing flagman Barney will show them the cross flags. 50 down and 50 to go. Next time around for Stabnow, as it is his race, dominating since they got around the West father-son duo here at Michigan.
And he has been smooth sailing. The winner last week at Charlotte, looking for back-to-back wins. I believe he'd be the first driver this season to pull out back-to-back in the truck series. We've seen it on the cup side twice now, I believe, but don't think we've seen it in the truck side yet. And Jeff Stabnow sitting pretty right now in the 24, looking very solid as the halfway point comes to us. So Stabnow, the dominant truck here in the first half, with the 2 trucks that were really giving him fits. The West family mired deep in the field after pit road issues. It's going to be hard for them to get back up into the mix, but man, oh man, Jeff Stabnow putting on a show so far in the 24.
Field coming off the corner. Hey, and by the way, pit stops were between 35 to 37. About another 20 laps from now, we're looking at another second sequence of green flag pit stop runs to cycle and shuffle through the field. As we watch the 17 truck battle here, this is Ross. He's got the 13 of Mans to his outside, the Armor All colors. As they slice and dice, now they go door to door, respecting each other's interval, respecting social distancing here at Virtual Michigan. And they go back into the corner and give it back to Ross to the inside. But here comes Maines. Trying to sneak and slither and take that spot away like a coiled cobra on his prey. Bye, Mice, you're down. Ross goes down. Mans will go down to 6th as they go back into 3.
Remember, Maines was another one of those drivers who was caught up in that accident on lap number 1. He got the worst of that accident on lap number 1 after qualifying in the 4th position. This will put him in 6th as he comes to the strike to move back into the 6th position. This is the highest he has been since the start of this race when he had that incident. But I want to give a quick shout to the two guys in front of him, John Ottenbacher and James Thurston. They are each plus 11 spots from the start of this race. Ottenbacher started 15th, running 4th in the number 89 LSRTV Chevy, whereas James Thurston in that bright blue and orange number 2 started 16th, currently 5th. So two very, very solid runs for those guys right there.
Another driver up 13 spots from the race started. How about the number 53, Carl Burke?
And Carl,
he is currently in 9th position. What a good run for him in the 53 truck. Started moving up, advancing his positions. Good drivers, good races so far.
and Wesley, Carl Burke, I mentioned a lot that these guys are looking for redemption. I don't think there's anybody who's looking for a redemption more in this race than Carl Burke. Carl Burke was in position to win on Monday night on a late race restart, jumped the restart, and immediately pulled into the pits knowing what he had done. So he is looking for some redemption after what he feels no doubt was a blatant giveaway of a possible win. He wants a shot at a win, and he's up 13 spots like you mentioned. Good performance by Carl Burke, looking for a bounce back.
Typical Michigan. Even in reality, even in the virtual world tonight on iRacing for the Northwest iRacing Esports Truck Series, you have the green flag run, the stretch since the start after a first caution on the first lap. Green flag pit stops, cycle back around, give the lead back a step now. The West family struggled. They're trying to shake off their cobwebs and get back in this battle. As you've got Devin West, son, he is in 11th. Daddy West is currently Dan West Jr. in 23rd after a penalty, is what we were being told, and some problems on pit road. Even his son Davin had issues, missing his pit stall. Had to back up and go forward 3 times. But nonetheless, this race continues. Hey, let's take you through the field. We've got nothing else better to do. It's clean and green for a good cycle of almost 50 laps. The leader is Stapp now. He has an impressive run in that number 24 truck, one of the all-time greats of iRacing, looking to stamp off another checklist win here in Michigan. If he can pull it off here, 2 in a row from Charlotte to Michigan on 2 different unique racetracks. Sean Brightsman, how about that driver? Havos got a hiccup on the initial start with Sullivan and Maines. He has fought his way to the number 2 spot. Yeah, it might have a little bit of damage as he continues to battle Jennings, but he is going to be somebody to watch and ready to redeem himself after a heartbreak at Charlotte last Thursday night. How about Jennings in that number 111 Silver USA truck? The driver in the numbers 111, Steve Jennings, getting where he needs to be, ready to precisely make a move like a coiled cobra on his prey and make an attack. And in addition to that, celebrating Old Glory and acknowledging our military on this Memorial Day month of May. 4th, Thurston, the number 2, the orange and blue number 2. Thurston, as my colleague Greg mentioned, playing safe, staying out of trouble. He could be there at the hunt of things. 12 positions he's advanced since this race started. And John Ottenbacher round out the top 5. 10 positions since he started. A clean run after both of those drivers had bad luck at Charlotte last weekend. That's through the field of the top 5. Greg will take us through the rest of the top 10.
Brian Maines bouncing back after having a rough start to the race, getting into the wall on lap number 1, coming off of turn number 2, fell all the way back outside the top 20, has slowly worked his way back up to 6th. We know that number 13 Armor All Chevy has a lot of speed under it, and he's really getting the show here on the long green flag run. In sixth right now, is putting pressure on, hasn't cracked back into the top 5 just yet, but he is there and he is lurking. Back behind him, a guy who showed up with a lot of short run speed, as evident by both his practice times and his qualifying times. Bill Ross Jr. in the 17th, qualified 3rd in this one, currently riding in the 7th position. Not a bad effort for Bill Ross Jr. has been on a little bit of a bad luck streak in the number 17, and it's got to feel good for him to really have a good solid run like this. Not up near the front very much right now, but doing a good job hanging back, keeping clean, and he might have something for these guys if this thing goes yellow near the end of the race. It might be hard to hold that 17 off, as we know he has a lot of short run speed under him in that number 17. Behind him, we talked about him a moment ago, a guy looking for some redemption. Carl Burke started 22nd up to 8th. He feels like the one on Monday got away from him as he jumped the restart late in the going in position to capitalize and win. And it was unfortunate for him, and he wants some payback. Running in the 8th position right now after starting 22nd. He's up 14 spots. Great job by Carl Burke in the 53, running in 8th. Behind him, he just got around the 83 of Chris White. Currently in 9th. He has been up as high as 2nd here today. Remember, he is off sequence. He's going to have to pit much sooner than the rest of these guys, and the off-sequence pit strategy might work out for him if he stay green. If he can time it just correctly, he will have a shot to try to make something happen late in the going, but he is hoping to make that strategy work as he's feeling the pressure from the final truck inside the top 10. Brett Johnson in the number 7, putting the pressure now on Chris White, and Johnson started 10th, currently running 10th, has been up near 5th a couple of times today, kind of hanging back in the lower half of the top 10 for most of the day. Solid run for the Coca-Cola Chevy, putting the pressure on for the 9th spot, but having a very solid run in that number 7. Wesley, that's your top 10.
Let's go deeper through the field just with a couple of random trucks. Look at position 11. He lost 6 spots from the start of the race. Devin West had a penalty on his Chevrolet on the pit road. Lost ground because he overshot his pit stall 3 or 4 times, having to go forward, having to go backwards. He's currently nipping back in to the top 10 in 11th. Roy Grande, a different number on the number 18. He's currently in the 14th position right now on the racetrack, and right behind him, Stephen Paulison. With problems on the initial start of the race, he got a reset. He is currently, with handling issues, staying at least into the top 15 to salvage a finish of this race. And Stephen O'Hare, top 3 finish last week at Charlotte. He's been patiently right there at 16th. And another driver we'll mention in 22nd right now, Dan West Jr. in the 55. I would say he got the heartbreak so far of the night, so far in this race, that are the others that are behind the wall, because he brought the trucks to the pit road leading, and then he suffered a penalty, and now he brings his truck to pit road as we are seeing the 2nd sequence of green flag pit stops underway. And I will tell you what, they're trying to possibly even this out, Greg Ransford. This will take them to the checkered flag. 65 of 100. That's 35 laps to go. That could take them to the checkered flag unless we go into overtime.
Yeah, this would be the stop that would get you to the end of the race, like you mentioned, if we stay green. So these drivers trying to stretch it out as long as they can on this run to put themselves in a position where they don't have to worry about fuel the rest of the way, and only would worry about tires if we catch a late race caution. So we'll see how the next few laps go, and this is really beginning to shape up like Monday night's Cup race here. Wesley, we saw a long green flag run through the stretch of the race in the middle stages, but it was around lap 82, I believe it was, that we caught the caution late, and that was what opened the door for Bruce Lee Weaver to get the win, as he was off sequence trying to stay out as long as he could, was in the lead when the caution came out as he was getting set to pull on pit road, and managed to stick it out the rest of the way and win the overtime shootout on the 2nd green-white checkered attempt. So he is not in the field tonight, but I know a few guys back in the pack, mainly possibly Chris White in the 83, who's on pit road right now, I believe, or has just come off of pit road in the 83, as he is scored now in the 19th spot, 1 lap down. So they might be trying to position themselves for a possible Bruce Lee Weaver situation to try to get themselves in that position if they could catch a late caution.
67 of 100 laps. And you still have trucks that have not pitted, but I think the leader is about to commit onto pit road. Stab now dropping below the apron. He is the leader. Is coming to the pits. Brightsman will now cycle around and be the new leader. It's looked like for a second Brightsman was thinking of coming to pit road, but he could not stop in time. And this gives the lead now to Sean Brightsman. Stephen Jennings, correction, has now moved into the top 2. Maines to 3rd as green flag pit stops are back underway, back down to pit road, and Greg Rentz.
Couple of drivers still on, or have already made their pit stops, and they were 2 guys that we've been keeping our eyes on. Devin West in the 5, Dan West Jr. in the 55. Believe they both have made their pit stops. So they came in a little bit earlier to try to gain a couple of laps worth of ground on Jeff Stabnow on those newer tires. We'll see if it works out for them, but the West family going a little bit different than their last lap as they pitted in sequence with Stabnow. We'll see how it goes. It looks like Sean Brightsman, race leader, on pit road, as is Steve Jennings. That's going to put Ryan Maines back in the lead, but Brightsman is on pit road.
The Brightsman on pit road to his pit stall. As my colleague for the first race, Buck Roos, said, this is the closest you'll ever get to virtual social distancing for a pit stop. It's like Maines is on pit road. There's the 9, Walters, in his pit stall. Now I'm thinking Hooters chicken wings. I'm missing those things right now, man. Can't go to the restaurant. Chicken wings. My producer said chicken wings. And Maines has cycled back around to the lead. I don't think he's pitted yet.
No, I don't believe he has. He is still out there working his way back up, leading a couple of laps here. Still has to pit, but he has been a very impressive showing right now. Has that number 13 Armor All Chevy after getting caught up in the initial incident, has worked his way back up to the lead. By the way, Wesley, I'll bring the cheesecake if you bring the chicken wings.
Fletcher, Paulison, O'Hare, Green, Viney, all on the road right now. Maines, Fournier, and Stabnow. When it cycles back around, you'll see them pit. When you see Maines and Fournier go to the pits, it will cycle back for Jeff Stabnow, back as the leader. And you have seen another perfect transition of green flag cycle pit stops for the driver of the number 24 Chevrolet. As right now, Maines has got some competition trying to fight to stay on the lead lap. The 89 of Ottenbacher trying to get back on the lead lap. The 8 truck of Nichols in the bottom of the apron. And Maines has not pitted yet. Neither has Fournier. And those are the drivers everybody's watching. And there's the man that will cycle back around when they pit to the lead. By the way, there's only like 7 trucks or 9 trucks on the lead lap right now.
That could change once Ryan Maines pits, as there's only 9 trucks currently being scored on the lead lap. I believe that will change, though, once Ryan Maines pits, as he's still out there, as is Roy Fournier. And looks like Roy Fournier is making the left turn on the pit road now, so that will leave just Ryan Maines left to pit. And Maines, he's trying what we talked about a moment ago. He's maybe trying that Bruce Lee Weaver move to stay out as long as he possibly can, and it looks like he can stay out no longer. He pulls in onto pit road. Ooh, he has to lock him up there. He may have been speeding. That could be a disaster if that's the case for Ryan Maines, but that's going to give the lead back to Jeff Stabnow as he comes around here through 3 and 4. So he will inherit the lead, but Sean Brightsman was able to close in a couple of seconds on pit road. Brightsman was on and off pit road quicker than Stabnow. Now it's about a 4-second gap as opposed to a 6-second gap when pit stop started, but Jeff Stabnow is showing he's got quite a bit more speed in that number 24, but Brightman was able to close it in a little bit there. Now it's 3.6 seconds, the difference, and Stabnow in traffic, so might be getting a little bit interesting here at the end with Stabnow and Brightsman. Brightsman on a couple of lap pressure tires.
Hey, Greg, what would you do for a Klondike bar?
That depends.
I see the number 11 truck of Harris, and I think about that. And of course, he's in 19th position, the first truck 1 lap down. But
Right
I saw the Klondike, and I was like, what would you do for a Klondike bar? And I don't know if it would help the drivers, help everybody else. I would say request to throw a caution flag.
It would help cool them off. It would help cool them off, but I don't know if they have cheesecake Klondike bars. Maybe that would be something that needs to happen.
Cheesecake? Was it?
You started it.
No, I started with Klondike bars. Klondike bars. What would you do for a Klondike bar? Would you ask for a caution flag? Hell yes, I would. Right now, ready to get this field bunched back up together. Looking for Barney, the mysterious iRacing virtual flagman, to accidentally drop his flag off the flag stand. It's something. Maybe the light pole will break and come apart. We've had happen in real racing at Talladega and have a caution flag fall. So, with that being said, we are 3/4 of the way. 25 laps to go. 1 caution has stopped this event. Debris, Cody. Debris. Take the chair, stick it out there, stick it out, and walk away. Debris.
Couple guys might be trying to figure a way out to throw their glove out the window or a water bottle or something. And especially that 46 of Sean Brightsman, he is thinking of any way possible he could do that to try to reel in Jeff Stabnow, as he's 3.6 seconds back still. 8.9 back is Steve Jennings, so it's looking like this could come down to the 2 of them. 24 Stabnow, 46 Brightsman. Remember what happened in Charlotte last week between Brightsman and Stabnow?
Yes. Getting ready to come to the home stretch of this deal. Oh, they're spread out like sardines and tin cans in the middle of the Pacific Atlantic Ocean. Here, pavement style, virtual iRacing. Let's pause our voices for a few laps and let you feel the thunder as we go to the home stretch. The trucks virtual at Michigan. Working lap number 80 next time by here at Michigan. 20 laps to go. And still no change in position. If you enjoyed that LSR Thursday, Feel the Thunder. Ooh, in the wee hours of the morning. 1:11, make a wish. I'm in the Eastern time zone. I'm Wesley Outland. In the Central time zone is Charles Wooten running the boards. And the man on the West Coast, is, of course, celebrating right now a time of 10:11 p.m. Pacific is Greg Rentz. So, yeah.
Still
We rocking
early
and
over
rolling,
here.
though, Greg.
We are rocking and rolling in here, and I'll tell you, the guy I've been watching during that Field of Thunder, another guy who's rocking and rolling is Sean Brightsman in the 46. In traffic, he was still a tenth faster than Stabnow about 3 or 4 laps in a row. In lap traffic, it mellowed out there as they ran equal lap times
But he be
in
coming.
the 40.35 bracket. But yeah, Sean Brightsman is clicking it away, but at the current rate he was going, he doesn't have enough time, but he's going to have to turn it into overdrive here. But that 46 car, he's pretty quick, so keep your eyes on that 46 here in the closing stages as the laps wind down. 46 is finding some speed.
I have to say it. I have to say it, Greg. Sean Brightsman, don't drop that cheesecake. Across the line to the stripe. 17 laps to go. Stabnow and Brightsman. And those are 1 and 2. Jennings, man, how about Jennings? He's in third. He's doing really good. The silver 111 truck. I'm impressed with the job he's had.
A breakout performance for Steve Jennings. He's shown flashes of speed in the series in the past. I'll never forget, I believe it was at Homestead. It was where he made his debut, and he surprised everyone by going the fastest in practice, and everyone was like, ooh, who's the 111? We're going to have to keep an eye on him. The luck hasn't gone his way since then, Wesley, but he is having a breakout night here tonight. Started second, running third. Great performance by Steve Jennings.
Jennings looks the line. He's in third. Mans, how about Mans again? He's right here in fourth. Ryan Mains, Ryan Mains. Armor all number 13. He had some issues. He's now in the 4th position. Leading the race earlier. Thought he about got a pit road speeding penalty. And he...
Caution.
Oh, there we go. This changes everything.
There it is. Jeff
I think Barney, the flag man, got tired of it and threw his flag on the track.
I think Jeff Stabnow just threw his keyboard out the window.
Something has happened for caution. Oh, we do have a caution. Okay, wow, this is truth. Oh, look at my buddy here. Well, yeah, he could have kept going. They just said, hell, throw a caution. James Vining in the 333. I mean, can we be honest here? We could have kept green. We could have kept green, but we didn't. They threw a caution.
What?
And I just have to say, it's about time. Let's see one more time what happened to Vining. You tell me what happened there, Greg.
Not quite sure on the 333 what went wrong.
Any day now. Our
Stop
producer
there
like
off of turn
purposely
number
went
2.
back to 2 laps or something before it happened. Well, he was trying to cross over the pink truck.
I believe he caught the wall. Let's say I believe the 333 caught the wall.
And we're waiting for our LSR TV replay for Charles Wood to show us what happened here. He must have rewinded to like 2 laps. There it goes.
Right in the wall there, off 2.
But again, we could have stayed under green. We could have. They decided to throw a caution. That's an LSR TV replay. We are under the yellow flag. Oh my goodness. 15 laps to go. Does anybody come to pit road, or do they stay out there for field position?
I think you got to pit. I think you got to pit to set yourself up because there's still too much time left. If you don't, it looks like most of the field did pit, Wesley, so I think you're in the position where you have to pit, and oh my goodness, Sean Brightsman gambled. He won the race off pit road. I think we saw the old Brightsman 1-2, and by that I mean 2 right side tires. Sean Brightsman won the race off pit road. I think we have seen the gamble.
He's pulled this mess before. We'll see if it pulls off again for him. Let's take a quick break. We need one. Long green flag stretch of action from Michigan International Speedway. This is the Northwest iRacing Truck Series on LSR TV, the home of sim racing.
They say everything is bigger. These guys down in Texas aren't messing around. This feature race will separate the boys from the men, the girls from the ladies. Can you handle racing 300 laps for $25,000? It's not as easy as you think. We don't stop to tow those too weak. We just push them out of the way. We don't run 20 laps. We run 300. Each night. We don't care about what you and your boys have under the hood. Bring all you got. Don't be scared. Call my Cowboy Jack today to get signed up. It all goes down on October 2nd and 3rd in Mesquite, Texas, just outside of Dallas. Kenny Wallace is coming back this year to try again. You don't have excuses. Go to LoneStar600.com now.
Getting ready for a restart after a late race caution with under 13 laps to go here at Virtual Michigan. This is the Northwestern iRacing Truck Series on LSR TV. Greg Rentz, Wesley Outland, Charles Wooten on the production. Late night action Thursday, Thunder on the West Coast. Friday morning wee hours action on the East Coast. And somewhere in the middle for Texas's own for Charles, he's just somewhere in the middle. He's caught between midnight and you know, not tired yet. So here we go. The pace car will drop back onto pit road. Hey, next week another great event for the trucks. Where are we going to be at, Greg?
I had it just 1 second ago and lost it. Going back for it. Oh, we are off next week, but we will be back in 2 weeks at Richmond.
Well, okay, we have to change that. Just for you, we gotta have the trucks at Kansas. Hold your cheesecake, folks. As my colleague Greg says, 13 to go. What back to green here at Michigan, and Stab now is gone again.
Steve Jennings up in second. We talked about Sean Breisman gambling. He didn't gamble. He missed his pit box. That's a little bit too much of a gamble if you're in Sean Breisman's position. So that set up Steve Jennings to be in the second spot in the 111. James Thurston in third. Ryan Maines back up to fourth. Here comes Carl Burke in the 53 to the inside of Maines. Burke trying to creep his way back up as he was in fifth on that restart. Trying to ride behind Maines right now. Pressure coming from Bill Ross Jr. up front. It's all Stab now, but Steve Jennings hanging tight, and James Thurston doing a great job hanging there in third.
Back across the line. Our producer is delirious as they come to the line. It's 11 laps to go. His Stab now is the man that's leading the way. Jennings is in the number 2 spot. Thirsting third. He is peeking, crawling, slipping, looking to the inside, to the outside to make a run for the lead. They're close with each other as they come off the corner. Stab now. There's the blimp interview. Hi guys. Yeah. There's the blimp interval. We haven't showed that much tonight. There's the Geico restart zone. There's the field. They fly by. Whoa! Look at this 3 wide by the trucks if they go to the inside. Little 3 wide racing. Finally. Yeah, they're getting antsy here at the home stretch. Greg.
Yeah, Chris White on the outside there. Remember, he was off sequence. Oh!
Oh no, they turned each other through the air. Oh no. Oh, it all come unglued.
I think Roth landed in Lake Erie.
Oh my goodness. Another caution. 10 laps to go.
And we saw this on Monday, Wesley. Late race caution just derailed the whole flow of the race, and we saw quite a few cautions in the end, and it looks like we may be getting ready to see that again. Jeff Stabnow going to have another good restart here.
A tough break. Let's take a look at the replay one more time here from another angle and not 2 laps later or before. Look at him fly through the air. What a tough break for truck number 17. The Lakeshore Motorsports entry. One more time from the blimp view. As he was, well, yeah, here we go. Good job. Cody's on it. Wow. Did we ride on board with 17? Let's ride on board with the man in the 17 truck where his world came just toppling upside down virtually. Cloud, sky, ground. Cloud, sky, ground. Cloud, sky, ground. Crash. Sparks. I'm okay. Hit the escape button. All drivers are all right in the virtual world of iRacing, and they'll live to race another day. That truck, though, is trash.
I think he landed near the souvenir stand. See if they got any hot dogs left. It's late in the race here.
That's Bill Ross Jr. pirouetting through the air. The highlight of the race so far, with 8 laps remaining here at Michigan. Well, you know, Greg, it figures we would have and I mean this with no disrespect, a quiet race. And then you get down to the final 10 laps and all hell breaks loose. Like, seriously, here we go.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And, you know, Jeff Stabnow's up in the front and saying, no, I did not want a caution. But you have to imagine he's going to be highly entertained when he watches that replay.
Any takers to pit road?
Not this time. I think it's too early. If we catch another caution,
then they're going to be looking
say
at
after like a 5-lap green flag run, we'll see. Yeah, but
yes,
I don't think we see anyone on this one.
But we see splash and go.
Maybe. I don't know. I still think it's too early to sacrifice the track position, knowing that it's maybe the last caution. It may not. I think I would stay out there unless I was back in like 10th or 11th or so.
Who's your pick? Let's bring our producer in real quickly. He's not shy of talking. He's constantly laughing at us in the background. Joining us. Corey Wooten, a quiet night here at Michigan so far.
I'm going with Stabnow.
You can't do that. That's my pick. I'm lead announcer. No, yeah. Okay, so you're going with Stabnow?
I'm going with Stabnow. I think he's got the best shot at it, just because he's led so much. But if you really want him, you can have him. I'll sell him to you for a couple of chicken wings, and I'm going to go with Jennings.
Chicken wing, hot dog and bologna. There we go. All right, so we got Stabnow. We got. I'm gonna go with Jennings. I'm gonna pick the silver bullet. Yeah, I'm gonna pick him, the military man, Jennings. Who you riding with, Greg?
I have liked what I've seen out of the 13 truck. The guy starting second row outside, Ryan Maines. He has been quiet all day, working his way back up to 4th after having to use the fast repair on lap 1. I'm gonna roll with the Armor All Chevy.
There you go. And if you're still awake with us on the East Coast at 1:30 in the morning like I am calling a race, hey, in the chat box, wherever you are across the country, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night. And konnichiwa, and put your pick of who is it going to be. Stabnow, the man out in front, Well, I tell you what, Charles, you got a nice sponsorship deal with LSR TV all over that truck. You can't make this. You can't
Try
make
having
this
that
stuff.
happen to you while you're
can't make
leading
this
the
stuff
Legends
up.
race. You're leading the Legends race, and all of a sudden you get tapped on the shoulder, and it's a cat.
You can't make
Launches
this
you in
stuff
the
up. Like, seriously.
Only on iRacing, ladies and gentlemen. Oh.
So his pussycat on the 333 is what I'm being told. They couldn't hear you. I thought we could hear you talking to us.
Cody,
See, now you're making us sound like crazy.
Cody muted his mic on this.
So here, I'll let them make. We're monitoring chat here while we're under caution in the producer's hour.
Okay, tell everybody what happened to Vining in the 333.
We got word in chat that he typed himself. He said his stowaway cat jumped in his lap. He could not steer. He hit the wall and scared her, and she unplugged the monitor cable to his monitor. So that is why he was off to the side of the track and did not come back on. So good news is that he didn't come back on the track. So James, an awesome guy. He's fun to hang out with, and you know he's one of those that you're gonna get a good story out of him like that. And this is just proof of that right there.
All right, so we've had cheesecake, we've had cats. Oh, here we go.
Next?
What's coming next? I still think we're going to have another caution flag. There's a lot of words that start with C there. Here comes the pace car back on the pit road. All right, Wesley, back to professional here. Ready for the restart? I'm sorry, I keep thinking about this cat attacking Finning.
All right, green flag back out.
Underway.
Stab now out to the lead. Good battle going on for second there between Thurston and
We
Jennings.
gotta get a pit report with Vining before we go off the air on this LSR TV broadcast to ask him what happened with the cat attacking him.
We have to do. Oh, look at Ryan Maines, 3 wide on the inside. Ryan Maines at 13 has decided it's go time as he's trying to get down to the bottom of Carl Burke. Thurston's going to throw a block. Jeff Stapp now pulling away, but Maines able to get up in front of Burke. So Ryan Maines riding in third. Here comes John Ottenbacher, the LSR TV Chevy, showing some muscle here late, Wesley.
All right, here they come to the line. 5 laps, 4 to go. Yeah, 4 to go. And here comes my pick. That's, come on, buddy, do something here. Man, he fell way back. Jennings lost all ground as Thurston Maines have come to the front for second and third. And Stab now has checked out from everybody. Into 3.
Not everybody. James Thurston's hanging with him, just 0.3 of a second back last time by. James Thurston, no one picked him there in the final sprint, and he is hanging there in second in number 2. So good effort here from James Thurston. He was a guy on Monday who had such a good run going. He was on the same pit strategy as Bruce Lee Weaver. Unfortunately, he kind of got hit in the door on the backstretch, and that shot him down in the infield, ending his chances at a win. So Thurston having some good muscle here late as he is hanging with Stab now. He is closing on Stab now even.
4 to go. They're going to come to 3 to go this time by the line. And look at Thurston. He is closing in, and we got another caution. Are you kidding me? Could we possibly be looking at overtime? Could we see drivers starting to come to pit road for a splash and go? And we have another caution. What cat attacked the driver in the virtual world of iRacing now? Here's your caution.
Dan West Jr. has damage.
Dan West Jr. And he got caught up in a, wow. Oh, that could have been a lot worse than it could. Boy, that man saved his Klondike bar. And then he saved his Jack Daniels or Jim Beam for Paulison. Look at Jim West. Oh, man. Look at Junior. spinning, smokes. Everybody was able to miss him. That could have been a lot worse than it turned out to be there, Greg.
Everybody lucky to get through there. Roy Grande has been given an end the longest line penalty, so that will drop him, I believe, to the 19th position as we have 19 trucks on the lead lap. As we get set for overtime here, Wesley, green, white, checkered territory, and Stab now. He's got his work cut out for him because we see the short run speed for James Thurston, but the guy in third now, Ryan Mays, is going to be starting directly behind Stab now. Remember, that inside lane really has an advantage on the restart. By the way, on Monday, the winner of the race came from the third starting spot inside row number 2. On the final restart, Bruce Lee Weaver started in that position and went on to win. Guys, whose pick is inside row number 2 right now?
My pick.
My pick.
No, it's my pick.
I have
no, it is. It's your part. Your pick. My pick's behind you. My pick's behind you. I'm on the outside of row number 2, fella. But we're going to be single file when we go to green. So, but, yeah. I still think we're not done. There's going to be another caution, okay? Like you jinxed it. Cheesecake, cats, cautions, calamity. Yeah, chaos. Crashy, you did it. I want to give a shout out to Orange Rabbit. They just donated $2 towards our broadcast on YouTube, I think, right?
Hey, that's our payout.
Thank you. Hey, you're funny. You're getting paid in cheesecake. I'm getting $2.
Sweet. Make sure it's one of those sampler ones.
No, we enjoyed it. It was fun time, Greg. Always fun enjoying working with you here the last couple of weeks. And we're ready to get this thing finished here now. Okay, overtime rules, because it looks like it's going to finish in overtime. What's going to happen here when we go back to green, Greg?
Take your pick of one of those words that started with C that you mentioned earlier. I'm going to go with chaos.
No. What is the rules of overtime? Do they have 3, 4 attempts, 1 attempt? When a cat runs across the track and they got to call the finish and wave the checker? What do we do?
I believe it's 3 attempts at a green, white, checkered, if I am not mistaken. No, it's 2 attempts. I'm looking at the thing right now. So 2 attempts at a green, white, checkered. The rules are you have to make it back to the start-finish line on the first lap. If you make it back and you take the white flag, the race is official. If you do not make it back to the finish line on the first attempt, then the caution comes out before you get there. We'll try it again, but that one, it'll be official no matter what happens. If we get to that second green, white, checkered, the next flag will end the race regardless of what it is. But
well, here we go.
We'll see what happens here. And now I will say probably some chaos.
Good man, Samity Sam. So they will come back around when they take the green. If they take the white, next flag ends the race, whether it's checkers or wreckers. Virtual style here at Michigan. And who'd have thunked it? This race was just, comfortable. It was quiet. And then all of a sudden, as they get to the home stretch, we've had 3 straight caution flags and craziness. Trucks flying through the air like Ross. And now we set ourselves up. Or what about my buddy Viney getting attacked by his cat? And he crashed and ended his night. Only in the... Only in the... I will never...
What would you do if you were in that situation, Wesley? You're riding around in the pack at Talladega and all of a sudden... No, that was where his daughter turned the remote off, or turned the TV off with the remote mid-race.
Oh, yeah. Well, didn't he need to take away? I don't know. What. So what are you saying now? He was in the middle of the race and the daughter cut the remote off?
She was playing pause with mom and asked Denny if she could go play with the go-karts, and Denny was like, no, I'm racing, and then Taylor Hamlin just hit the power button and off went the screen at 195 miles an hour.
There's a lot of cats in that picture.
Oh.
Is she 2 years old? Was that a terrible 2 moment?
No, she's, I believe, If I recall, she's around 7 or
That's
8.
about, yeah, 7 or 8. Yeah. She was just trying to teach her dad about social distancing virtually. I'm good friends with Danny Hamlin. Good guy. I always watched him climb the ladder from late models to from Southampton to Southern National to now the Cup Series, and he's a good man. Winner of the Daytona 500, 2-time winner, and now looking for that first ever championship.
3-time
All right,
winner.
let's see what we can do here now. Overtime. Ready to come back to green. Stabnow and Thurston alongside our picks in the back, including Maines and Jennings. Green flag back of the air, and Stabnow says, nah, I'm gone. He has checked out from the field. Here, kitty, trying to catch that 24. They come to the line back to 1.
Here comes Ryan Maines, though, with a good restart. That inside line, like we talked about, very strong on the initial restart. Maines has a good run as he took a little bit of a higher exit. Then Stabnow coming down the backstretch. They have to get back to the line before a yellow comes out for this race to be official. Ryan Maines is there. Knock. Here he comes.
Here they come off of 4. Last chance off the corner. They're making a move to the inside. This is it. White flag in the air. This will end the race, whatever happens.
Race is official.
Now.
Oh, and there's contact.
Oh, no, he turned him. He turned my buddy.
We're not yellow yet.
Goes around. The one that 11 Jennings goes around. He turned him.
We're still green.
No caution. This is still green.
Still green, and it's a 2-horse race. Stabnow and Maines going down the backstretch for the final time.
It's your pick.
Stabnow into turn 3. Here comes Maines to the inside. Stabnow shuts the door. Maines with the crossover as he goes up high. Stabnow comes low. Maines going to try anything in his power. They're coming to the finish line, and it looks
Here
like
it comes.
Stabnow.
He can't get him. 2 in a row for Jeff Stabnow in 24.
Believe that is the first back-to-back winner, but Ryan Maines made him earn it there at the end.
What happened to my friend? What happened to the Silver Bullet? He was in the battle. It was so the Waltz Beard Co. number 24 Chevrolet LSR TV entry, Jeff Stabnow. Another win for Jeff Stabnow. My goodness, how many wins is that in his LSR, or actually in his iRacing career? And there goes my pick, flipping violently. The cat attacked him on the white flag. All bets are off. Thank goodness, he was my pick. Jennings. Oh. Another look at it, Greg. Another shot, another look. Spinning, crashing, flying through the air. And luckily able to hit that escape button and call it a night.
And what a heartbreak for Steve Jennings. A breakout performance, no doubt, but man, oh man, the contact with Ottenbacher sent him for a ride there at the end.
Burning it down, lighting them up, another big win. Okay, we have now, we have extra post-race activity just outside of victory lane. Like,
that's your demo derby right there, Dan
they're
West Jr.
famous. That's right. Let's go to commercial break. Post-race wrap-up is coming up. Presented by ETE Reno, ETE Remanufacturing, and the Clanman's Wars servers. Oh, we'll talk to Jeff Stabnow in the top 3 in a moment. An interesting race, a quiet one down to the finish, an overtime finish, crashing, flipping, and so much more. Welcome back to LSR TV coverage of the Northwestern iRacing Esports Truck Series. I'm Wesley Outland alongside Greg Rentz virtually. And Greg, what's your take of this race here?
It was definitely interesting, Wesley, because it was a long green flag run, but then much like our race on Monday night in the Cup Series, a late race caution came out and changed the entire complexion of the race. And wouldn't you know, we wound up having a green-white checkered at the end of it.
All over again. Before we get ready for our post-race wrap-up recap, let's take a look at the unofficial results. And I will tell you, I know the iRacing Northwestern truck officials are putting a technical inspection on the 24 truck of Jeff Stabnow. Right now, the overall finishing results, I guess we're going to do a countdown from 20. Oh, there we go. Okay, they got it together. Stabnow is the winner. Maines is in second. King third. Ottenbacher coming back and finishing fourth. Devin West fifth. Fletcher Breitzman seventh. Dan West Jr., even though he had his caution next to the last race start, came back and finished eighth. Paulison ninth. And as I look at the rest of the rundown, I look at a disappointing 17th for Steve Jennings as he was in the hunt to take the win, crashed on the white flag, but still no caution called.
Yeah, that was a heartbreak for Steve Jennings, but a breakout performance nonetheless. Started second, was up in the top five virtually all night. 17th, not the result that he wanted, but definitely a good showing for him tonight. 15 trucks finished on the lead lap tonight, last of them being Brett Johnson finishing 15th. As you take a look through the rest of the finishing order, Wesley, it was definitely a wild finish here.
Yeah, a total of 15 trucks on the lead lap, and the checkered flag fell as we see now the final starting positions of, I believe, 28, 31 trucks. I think they're in the mix, or 28 trucks, corrections. There's your rundown. There's the lineup. There's the finishing results here for the Northwest Racing Truck Series event presented by Waltz Beard Co. here tonight at Michigan. Let's go to Victory Lane now and talk to our winner. Victory Lane is proudly presented by ETE Remanufacturing. Post-race wrap-up, and joining us, winner is Charlotte, first back-to-back winner of the series. Jeff Stabnow, you had a big monkey on your back, the bullseye, whatever analogy you want to use, and you put it in Victory Lane.
Yeah, what a good feeling that was. We got off to a rough start this season, but to get two of these in a row against this competition feels pretty great.
Is it because of me?
It is. It is. You can't leave us.
What a crazy finish, though. I mean, you kind of had a quiet race. You stayed in your line. Was you ever worried that there was going to be that rush for running out of fuel or having to stop and go, splash and go? Or was you just ready to just see what you had to the finish, or did you try to conserve fuel even though you had such a big lead that you had over everybody?
I was good to go on fuel. I had a lap or two in the bank. So I really wanted it to go green. I was saving some tire there. That first run with Devin and Dan West, oh my God, so much fun. Probably fun for you guys. Not sure what happened to them in the pits, but they didn't come out with me. And then that second one, we probably put you to sleep a little bit. And so on that third run, I was just trying to save some tire. We got all spread out and just make sure I didn't do something stupid, put in the wall or something. And, might have been boring for you guys, but I was loving it and hoping we could take it to the end that way, but it was not to be.
Jeff, it was a wild race for you, though, because you had such a big lead that you were kind of able to just hang back, but traffic was playing a factor a little bit there near the end of that super long green flag run, as Sean Breitzman was quicker than you through traffic and he was closing, but that caution came out and just turned the entire race on its head there at the end. And tell the viewers at home what happens when you have to go from that long green flag run to all of a sudden now you're in shootout mode.
Well, there's a couple of things that happened. First of all, on that long green flag run, I had a big cushion, so I was banking about a tenth a lap. So I wasn't running hard, and you get into that rhythm. So I was banking about a tenth a lap. Sean was coming on me a couple tenths. I was kind of watching a relative, and when he got too close, I would see if I hopefully have more tire left, but I was saving a little bit there. So you get that mindset, and then all of a sudden we flip over to a green-white, checker, or even just a short run, and everybody's got new tires, and so now you're running wide open, and you've got to remember not to lift. Everything in you is telling you to lift for these corners because you've been doing it the last 25 laps. You've been lifting in both corners, and you just got that rhythm, that timing, and then all of a sudden you got to keep it pinned, and you got everything in you screaming, you're gonna slide it, you're gonna get loose or whatever, and and then when you're the leader, and everybody's wide open in a track like Michigan, they're all just sucking down the draft on you, and you got nobody to draft off, so you almost feel like a sitting duck up there up front. So those green-white checkers there at the end were pretty brutal.
Well, congratulations. 2 wins in a row. You've got a week off next week, and then you'll prepare to go to Richmond. Another short track race as we go from a 1.5 mile race at Charlotte to a 2-mile race here at Michigan. And then you go 3/4 mile short track racing at Richmond, so it should be a good one. Congratulations. Keep up that success. And I like your new wrap job with LSR TV swag all over it, too. And Walt's Beard Co.
All right, thanks, guys. I just want to give a quick shout-out to my sponsors, Walt's Beard Co. and LSR TV, before you kick me out.
Well, I did
big
it for
thanks
you.
to them.
I did it for you. So,
I know. I
congratulations.
wasn't paying attention, was I?
Jeff, hey,
Thanks,
Jeff,
guys.
by the way, in closing, how many wins is that now? Because, you got a lot.
Oh, in this series, I don't know. I don't
No,
have
just
that many.
overall in the world of iRacing.
Oh, I don't. Not that many. Not enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have enough. Dang it.
All right. Well, we're going to talk to our second place finisher, James Thurston, and I believe he's actually not available. James Thurston is not available. So we're going to talk to our 13th place finisher, the man that was in the lucky dozen bubble position, 44, Tyler King. Tyler, how was your night tonight here at Michigan?
Well, in reality, it was pretty terrible. Ran in the back like the entire race, and I was just ready for this thing to end. Luckily, with that yellow flag fell with like 15 to go or whatever, I had Jeff like right on my bumper. That fell at the right time for me. I still didn't think I was going to get anywhere. I got really lucky on that second to last, or the last yellow flag. The net code gods were in my corner. I went right through that wreck, and then managed to get a wicked restart on that last green flag, and passed 5 trucks or something like that going into turn 1, and then made it through the melee going to the white flag lap, and third, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I definitely don't deserve it. I'll take it though.
There you go. That's 13th place for Tyler King, and he's in the chat box, so I just figured I'd talk to him. Runner-up in the race, James Thurston in the 2 truck. He's finally popped in here. James, man, beautiful-looking truck, orange and blue. And you were a dark horse. You were a sleeper. I did not expect you to be the man to finish in second, or much less be in the hunt to win it. James Thurston, are you there?
Yes, I am. Sorry about that. But
there you go, bro. There you go. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the bringing me up. But sadly, I did not finish second.
Oh, you didn't finish second.
No, I was involved in the accident, and
why is timing it this timing and scoring? My apologies. Okay, we'll just talk about the race then. This has all become unglued anyway. We've got attacked by cats. We've talked about cheesecakes. So just talk about what happened when you crashed in the race. Go ahead.
No, not a problem. First off, it was I've been away for a while, and so just getting back in the truck, and didn't have a great qualifying run, and figured, okay, let me just see if I can get in the top 10. And the tires seemed to hold well, and the long green flag runs came in, and just some timing. But I knew I was going to be a sitting duck on that last restart, starting on the outside, and then just unfortunately got caught up in that last race, but caution. But still a great race. Congrats to Jeff and everybody for a great race.
Wow, I have totally butchered this thing. All right, thank you, thank you very much. Thank you very much again to Mr. James Thurston. I do like your truck though, but I totally butchered this thing. Tyler King, you did get third. Congratulations, third place for Tyler King. Ryan Maines is second place in the race. Ryan, he was your pick. Greg was your pick to win this thing. What was your take of that last lap? All bets are off.
Oh, the truck had been on fire all day, and I'd set myself back early, and as I knew on that last restart, if I could stay on Jeff's backside, I could get a run on him, depending on the situation. Put the outside out there, so I stayed up behind him and got a run into turn 3, and it wasn't fast enough, so I couldn't get down inside of him before he shut the door.
There you go. Greg, anything you want to add to that second place finish? And by the way, this was Greg's pick.
Yeah, Ryan, I was keeping my eye on you through the course of the race. And tell us a little bit about how you gradually made your way through the field there after having to pit and take the fast repair on lap number 1. Definitely not the way you wanted to start, but it worked out for you, just gradually working your way through the field there. Tell us about just your overall run to the front.
Well, I knew the truck was fast, and it was really good at holding its tires long run. I think the only other person that I saw that could hold times with me was Sean, and me and him were kind of just cruising along for a long period of time. And I just hold my patience and pick one car at a time up through the way, and just happened to get a few cautions that put me in the right spot.
Well, Ryan, it was definitely a blast to watch you come through. And then tell us about that last lap, because we mentioned it on the broadcast. You were kind of in the sweet spot there on that restart. Inside row 2 is really proven to be a very, very strong spot on restarts in this series, as you're able to get a good jump there and stick with the leader. And you nailed it there to stick with Stabnow there at the end. So tell us a little bit about that restart and how when you're in third, you're able to gauge what the leader does a lot better than, say, on the outside.
Even when I was on the outside, a few of those, I was watching Jeff, because he has a certain rhythm to him, so I knew about when he was going to fire it off, and I could stay right on his bumper. And that was all just me dropping the hammer when I needed to at that point.
Well, we'll get ready to go and pack up for Richmond, off next week, and then on to Richmond. So a good run for you, Ryan. Thanks for being on tonight.
Thank you, guys. Always fun watching.
And I do want to say this as a final quote before we close out the night. A quick reminder that only you can help control the pet population. Please have your pets spaded or neutered, especially if they're cats. And my prayers are with James Vine, and hopefully he didn't get any cat scratch fever or any type of claws from, I guess, the cat attacking him in the world of iRacing. James Vining is unavailable for comment at this time, but Greg, a fun night, a kind of a race where it had its quiet moments. It had its moments of being strung out and, kind of the work to be boring, if you want to say in honesty. But then we had that late race caution, and then we bumbled and jumbled them up again, and it caused one heck of a finish at the end. But when it's said and done, Mr. Jeff Stabnow gets 2 wins in a row on the series.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting one, Wesley. We had cats, we had cheesecake, carnage, crashes, chaos, you name it. It was all over the place tonight, and the action on track was awesome as well, because we saw some very fast trucks and comers and goers tonight as well. It was a lot of fun watching the guys try to make their way up in position and get themselves in for that green-white checkered. It was a fun race to call, and definitely looking forward to Richmond in a couple of weeks.
For sure, definitely. It's 2 a.m. now on the East Coast. I know it's only, like 11 o'clock for you on the West Coast, so you can still stay up and party.
Nope, I gotta help my sister move at 7 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh, make sure the cats don't attack you. Are you a cat person or a dog person?
Dog person all the way.
There you go. Keep that cat away from you. So here, kitty. Hey, for everybody joining us for our coverage of the Northwest Racing Truck Series again tonight from Michigan. We will be back not next week, but the week after. After the crazy chaos and fun we had tonight at Michigan, we need a week to reset our batteries and start over again. Richmond Raceway, the 3/4 mile in the Commonwealth of Virginia virtual style. That will be coming up on 2 weeks from tonight. Of course, that will be on Thursday night, May the 28th. Again, we are taking off next week, and we'll be back on the 28th. So happy Memorial Day to you. Keep on praying for our country. For Charles Wooten, for, of course, Greg Rentz, I'm Wesley Outland. Thank you for joining us. Jeff Stabnow, 2 wins in a row on the LSR coverage of the Northwest Racing Truck Series. Take care.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of LSR TV and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of 52 Media LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. LSR TV would like to thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.